I don't know if you understand what I mean.
I'm trying to, because like I said, this is not our field, and that's something we've struggled with when it comes to
Okay.
the content for them. Because it's like if we are going into a field that we are not conversant with, we have to know the right questions to ask them. So I'm just going to share my screen. I'm streaming this on YouTube so we can have access to it later. I'm just going to share my screen a bit so we can look at a few things that they filled. And if we need to get them to answer more questions, probably you'll be in a better place to tell us. They said they're in the construction industry, building design and construction. They provide affordable luxury properties. This is the content we are going to create from them. But I think we need to step back before we step forward, which is to go back to see exactly what they do and how they describe themselves. This will help us. So it's a design and build company. They consult on the best type of materials to use, best place to site properties, documentation, and if you want to build what you do, blah 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 budget. So what will you call it when they say it's a design and build company? What are they allowed to do as a design and build company? If
So which means they are registered as both a building company and architectural firm.
Okay, so now I think for me, what I was thinking about is this. If the owner is an architect, but the business, sorry everyone, is a learning process for all of us. As you can see, I'm also learning. If the owner is an architect, but they have a construction company, don't they have the right to advertise? I mean, talk about their services.
I think they have the right to talk about their services, but we have to find out if that is the same thing with civil engineers. So, but when it comes to architecture, surveying, quantity surveying, then lawyers, all of those people, they don't allow them to advertise.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm not sure about, for civil engineers, if that is also within their framework. So, but I know of architects and the rest.
What's the civil engineer framework? So they're not allowed to advertise. What kind of how do they now talk about their services? Are they allowed to show the properties they've worked on? Because what we focused on initially was value added content. And this is what I wanted us to do: educate on how to source for properties, engage with audience, establish yourself as a thought leader. This was what he now said. We can't really talk about ourselves, and then we should take this out. Give tips that can improve people's perspective about the construction industry, increase visibility, and amplify the brand message. So, when we talk about this, what will you say they can focus on when it comes to their promotional content? Can they show their houses, or what? How do people know what they do?
So, okay, with what you just read out now, I
Mm-hmm.
think the best way and approach is I think we should basically try to talk about things that happen within that industry. So it's an indirect way of catching people's attention. And what I mean is, let's talk about the fact that you need to consult a registered architect anytime you're trying to do a construction
Mm-hmm.
or a build or buy a land, all of those things. So we can focus on those areas. Indirectly we are trying to provide answers to people, educate people about the building and the construction environment, how it works. So, and at the end of the day, we get the attention, with our brand at the same time. So, but not really focusing on the brand in itself, like advertising. We build, we construct, we do this, we do that.
But how do we show our are we allowed to show the properties we've built?
Yeah, I think they're allowed to show the properties you've
Because this
built,
is what we
but
wanted to work on: problems faced in the construction industry,
yes, the
problems faced
problems,
in
the
building and
challenges.
design, problems
Mhm.
faced in building affordable luxury, questions that your target audience are asking. These are the
Yes,
proposed topics that we wrote before.
and also the recent collapse of buildings, why those things happen. So we can focus on that too. The things that would have happened, and that's also the reason why we should contact a registered
So,
architect or a
okay.
professional.
Okay.
Dear Jesus, we speak to you because you're not dead. Not anymore. You are alive. You sit at the right hand of the Father, and you are ruling over everything for the good of your church.
Would you think something about talking about because I want to get the first few topics that we can talk about so that you can start working on those ones, because I know we've not given you this thing, because yours, I don't know if it's we do research first, find out what we want to talk about, and then we now start talking, because it's I think yours is a bit more technical. Because these are the things that we got from top of our head that we felt that we should look at. But like I said, it's about understanding the industry and bringing an industry expert. So many other industries, it could be, you could make assumptions, you could study, and but yours is more technical and lives are involved. So I think that's where you will come in, Andy, because even if we are looking at the questions, objections, and all those other things, you will still come in, Andy, in that place, because you will know the questions people are having, the objections they will have to hiring a registered architect, and the problems that they are facing. Because now we look at the problems and all those things from that perspective. It says this thing. Sorry, I'm just reading something. It will let us know what we need to do. So what other information do you require from us? Do you want to do research first, or do you want to start working on a few topics first? Which will you rather do? And I think it would be great to set up a meeting with you and the client so that you can have, you are both going to speak the same language. Light, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to get my.
Okay. So because I was questions people are asking, because a construction firm, your clients are, what I want is, this is how I would like to position the brand. I would like to position the brand in a way that the brand is not competing locally but globally. So I'm looking at architectural firms globally, and I think that's where you will come in when we're doing our competition analysis. Architectural firms globally that are ethical and that have a reputation for always delivering 110%. So architectural firms that you look forward to working with globally, not just in Africa or in Nigeria. The aim is to do this, not because if we are just competing with those in Nigeria and just looking at what they've done, we are going to restrict ourselves. However, there's a global standard and there's a Nigerian standard based on law. This is my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong. If we
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
If we start with the global standard and then also look at the local rules that limit our involvement, we are able to come up with an authentic brand that will stand out. The aim is not just to blend in, the aim is a year or two from now, when people are talking about architectural firms, are looking for content on the blogs or things that will help people in the construction industry, they will be coming to our website.
Yeah.
Be coming to our pages. So I am not just looking for going viral. I am looking long term. What can we do long term to put this firm on the global map? And what source of information and every single thing we need. So with this, we are looking at more quality than quantity. So yes, videos work to explain certain things, but when we come to this firm, we may take a completely different approach. So that's my aim. The aim for me is not necessarily to book jobs, but to showcase the skills and resources that the firm has, the knowledge and experience that they have, and create an atmosphere where architects can grow. Architectural students can still come and ask questions and learn. But it's your industry, so I would like us to kind of brainstorm and see where we can go. So brand wise, that's what I want to do. So I am just a brand strategist, you're the specialist, and you will have a little bit more insight with what we can do with the brand. So I'm not just about shares, likes, views, and comments and going viral 1 minute, but I'm looking at substance. I'm looking at the situation where we are the go-to person when it comes to architecture in Nigeria. That's my aim. What do you think about that, and how do you think we can achieve that as a team?
Yeah, so I think what you said is amazing, and I think a lot of I'm getting a whole lot of thoughts in my head already.
Okay.
But,
Cool.
yeah,
Really?
but I
Okay.
think it's something we have to do a whole lot of research.
Yes.
And we should do it bit by bit because it's really big.
But the competition analysis will come later, but what I want to do is industry analysis first. So this is going to be the first time we're doing an in-depth industry analysis. Let's understand the industry itself, the architectural industry locally and globally. What is it? The construction industry, sorry. What is it? What's allowed? What's not allowed? Then if this, is there a difference between the commercial construction industry and the residential one? If they operate in the two areas, what can we do about it to showcase what they do? So there's quite a lot that we can do when it comes to this. I just want us to have like a reasonable spot that we are starting with. This helps us make better decisions and know that we are on track. Because like we said, it may not be posting immediately, but this is what they do. The construction industry, building and design and construction, and affordable luxury spaces. So they're saying, and their definition of affordable luxury is your house is your home, and to the best of your ability, you may not, a luxury is what you can afford and what you can define, but you should always get the best, not the most expensive per se, because not because it's
True.
expensive doesn't make it luxurious. So
It's true.
getting the best within your budget, but living that luxurious lifestyle on a budget, not breaking the bank, not just saying, because there are some houses you go to that are expensive, but they're not classy. From head to toe, you see Versace or something, and nothing makes sense. There's just no coordination. But like, you know what? We can still give you what they call affordable luxury spaces. So the first thing is to understand the construction industry. And I'm thinking that's a good place for you to start before we go into building design and construction in Nigeria, but the construction industry generally. Sorry, MS sent me a message. Yes. So, like, what will you like to start with
I think I should start with the industry in itself.
before we go to the brand itself? All right.
Yes.
Do you need me any assistance when it comes to the industry? What do you need from us, or should we just leave that in your hands?
I think what I need is just time.
How much? Oh, how much time?
Uh, I'm not sure,
1 hour, 2 hours? How much time?
but it can't happen now. It
I
can't
know,
happen
I
fast
know,
now.
I know, I know. How
So
much
that's what
time
I'm
do you
saying.
think? Because in the process, you're still learning with. If we don't understand the industry completely, what I would say is this would be my suggestion. You can take a week to understand the industry. Let me know if that's enough time.
Yeah, that would be great.
So, may you please note that down for Thursday next week. But in between, sorry, Emma is distracting me. But in
So
between,
I,
we will
yeah,
have you'll be taking the little tips of what we are learning for carousel posts and other things and creating content. So basically, when we say the problem, you can just take a problem or question people are asking and then create content with it based
okay.
on the training. But your focus for now will be the industry analysis. Let's understand the industry analysis very, very well, because I think if we do that, we are in a better position to create something magical and to create a brand. Because I want us to create the website. Well, I want us to do the wireframe for the website and all the other things. Realize that if we don't do the copy of the website before we start designing the website, it will run into problems. So I want us to know what pages we're having. If we're doing the blog post, what things we're going to do. That will come later, but the construction industry aspect is very vital. So thank you very much for that, Light. And Thursday,
Yes.
next week, we will go forward. Do you have any other questions before I go into something else today?
No, so another thing I want to add is that, so, I really do not, I think I'm going to come with a lot of things. So I would need help from your end to be able to streamline them towards.
Oh, no problem. For now, let's just get what you want to, let's get what you can get. Comfort can help out with research if you need assistance. I think we should add everybody to the group today. We are going to be working a little bit on something so that we can add everyone to the group and stuff like that. But if you need assistance, like that I'll wake up at 3 a.m. Anytime you're working and you need any assistance, just send me a message and I will respond as soon as possible. But I think it would be a good one for us to understand this industry in depth so we do not fall into error. So it's like give ourselves a month to do the branding. So basically, week 1 will be the industry, week 2 will be the brand, week 3 will be the competition, and week 4 will be the content strategy, full content strategy. But in between, what I would just suggest is anything we are learning, you are using a brand to you're using the construction industry and the brand itself, even if you don't know so much about it yet, to practice, because it helps you make understand what we're doing. If you are practicing almost every day, whatever we learn, even if it's a 15-minute session, because the session was supposed to be like 20 minutes and we are almost done.
Yeah.
I will add you to all. Will I confuse you if I add you to all the documents we have? Do you want to go in freestyle? Because like I said, we did this thing based on our own understanding. Will you like to see the questions and all the other things we've written, or you want to go in blind and come back?
Okay, let me go in blind and come back first.
Okay.
Because I don't want to, because that will build some form of baseline.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I might just be looking out for exactly those things. So, but let me just.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the construction industry is the first one, and then if we have to say after construction we need to focus on architecture the next week, we can do it. But there's kind of flexibility because most brands that we take, I try my best to start posting for a brand immediately. I try my best to take a month to study the brand, which brings me to the second brand that we're going to be doing similar things for. Yes. Can you explain something?
Yeah, I need you said the first one this week is industry.
Yes,
I wanted to get the total list. I want to write it down.
I think it may snowball or it may deepen as we go. So basically, for our own part, when we are doing this, we do industry analysis, the target market, the niche market, and then the competition. So what I want you to do is focus on the industry first. If after the industry, we can now go to the target market, we can now say, okay, this is the target market that we are going into, and then we can niche down into affordable luxury. But all these may be done in the industry. So let's start with the industry first. And then
so I need there is a list you made the other time.
I said industry competition analysis, but now what I'm saying is industry may take longer than industry may. Okay, so if you look here, we have.
I just want to have the list. You know why?
Okay.
So while I'm doing my research, I could stumble into what I need for the other ones. I'll just keep them by the side.
I'm just
so that's how I do
industry competition analysis. Amaka, is there anything I'm missing?
Competition analysis, the content strategy.
No, okay.
Analysis and planner.
I think it was 4 things you mentioned.
And audience.
Okay, audience.
Content, audience. Okay.
We'll look at the brand itself.
Then the brand itself.
Clarity. So the brand one is to gain clarity about the brand after we've done all this research. So now the reason I said, because this competition this industry analysis to go into sub markets and niche markets. If you can do all this at the same time, it will not be confusing, fine. But if not, it's going to be industry, then you now go to competition. But in between industry and competition, you have these two. Content is last. All right, so if we do it this way, we'll be able to do this. And we're going to do this for everybody. So for everybody, the brand print I showed you does this. So if we go to the brand clarity, we go to brand styling, we go to all that. Almost everybody, like I gave you Mega Design. Mercy, you're doing yes, but the one that say you're going to be doing the research on is the Modest Fashion. I will mention the name Modest Fashion, and we'll go into those details later offline. But basically, you try and understand the industry and a couple of other things. And that one, some work has been done, so I will send that to you so you can study over the weekend and understand what they've done. But basically, if you have your industry that you're studying and your markets, it makes you create better content for the clients rather than just creating random things. Because the reason we do brand clarity is this: after we've studied the industry and the competition, then we go to brand clarity before we go to brand styling. Brand clarity helps you define why your brand is different from those in your industry and the problems in your industry that your brand has come to solve. So it helps you stand out. So you're able to, when you're creating content or you see things that your brand should be doing, you are able to point it out and say, oh, this is something that my brand can do. You can say, oh, I can repost this because it's in line with what my brand wants to achieve. But if you do not have these things stated out clearly, you're just going to be posting randomly and you're not going to be getting the conversion that you need. You want a situation where whoever you're posting for, you are helping improve that person, put them in a better position and make them sustainable. You don't want them to go viral once and then nobody comes back to them. But you want to get attention and sustain that attention for a long time as the brand evolves. All right. Light, any questions? Did you take a screenshot?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's move to you. All right. So what are you working on for NKBC? How was the response to that post that you did when you asked Shola? Was it only Shola that responded? Because I saw Shola's response. Did any other person respond?
Yeah, so there was a couple of people that responded, but those are pretty much our regulars on the page. I think they're familiar with the brand personally, so that's why they responded. But there was a lot of good engagement and discourse on there.
Oh, that's good. So that was a good conversation starter. Thank you for bringing that out. You can use their comments and put them in the stories also. You can pin Shola's comments to the top of the page so that anytime anybody else comes, they can see that comment. It helps with keeping the conversation going. And I think it's an amazing thing to do, to keep it that way, to ensure that we keep the conversation going and we keep helping the parents. Yesterday we talked about bringing the technology aspect and technology into the conversation for NKBC. Have you thought about, do you have any thoughts about how you want to do that yet? As what topics you would like us to explore with regards to that? You can look at, okay, yeah, let me hear you now.
I think my phone might have cut out during that part because I haven't really put much thought into that.
Okay, that's fine. What you can talk about is screen time. What children are teaching, because now you give a child an iPad, should you put restrictions on the iPad even if you think they can break it? Do you have a cutoff period where you switch off the Wi-Fi and take away the internet from the child so that they can sleep and they're not up all night? So those are the kind of things that you can talk about to ensure that you're not bringing a child that has insomnia from an early age and is just watching viral videos all night. So do you monitor what your child looks at what age should a child get a cell phone. So things like that could be good conversation starters also for you. So I will just repeat what I said. So if we're talking about screen time, you can talk about the fact that should you limit a child's screen time, or should you let them go freely because you're teaching them to make their own decisions? So parents believe in allowing a child fail, saying make your mistakes, you will learn from your mistakes. Some other parents believe in putting rules and regulations that have to be followed. So you could ask a question in line with that to see how that would help parents and help people make informed decision. Then there is something called, is it sharing? So when parents overshare their children,
Okay.
question, do you need your child's permission before you tell their story, embarrassing stories on your social media? Because now those babies that we told embarrassing stories of and took embarrassing pictures of are 18 years old, and some of them don't like it. So you can start a funny conversation about that. So yes, even if it's not necessarily spiritual, it's something that is important to children, because sometimes some parents just want to overshare. So do you need your child's permission before you share their pictures on social media? I think that's a good conversation starter. So even if, because if we say we don't look at just the spiritual aspect, we look at lifestyle. We need to take lifestyle into consideration a little bit more. And then we need to distance. Sorry. Team meeting. Alpha. Text. Team meeting. All right. Sorry about that. So we need to take that into consideration. So those simple questions can bring conversation, but we know the end point of where we're going to with that conversation. So I will say those are just a few things I would think we can add to that, and then we can look at. I did a presentation on prayer. You can use that slide as.
Please, can you share it with Team A? We don't have it on Team A.
Are you serious? All right,
Yes.
I'll share it with you guys. I did a presentation on prayer, and we can use that one as a post. And then some of the old posts that we've done, old presentations that we've done, we can actually use them for a carousel post for the children. We have a game on Saturday, on Sunday. We have a session on Sunday. So Amaka, please speak with Susan, so you guys can get in touch with the parents and remind them that there is a game. So tell her the same process we did last
Yeah,
time.
that's why I wanted this.
Yeah.
She just messaged me.
Because you're supposed to do the same process, and you have sent the parents invites by Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So people have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to do back-to-back reminders to the parents. I'll give you access to the documents now so that you have everything and we don't this thing. But thanks a million for your feedback. Is there any other thing you need help with, Elizabeth? You and I have not had our session in a while, but is there anything you need help with?
Not right now. I'm gonna get
Okay.
started on working on the posts for screen time.
Okay, I think that screen time one will be a great post to have.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have Messi. Messi, what's up? Anything that you want clarity on, or anything that you need help with?
I wanted to know if there's like any restriction on the amount of videos, because I think I've shared like one or two.
There's no restriction, especially now that they've told us they want more videos. We don't put any restriction.
Okay.
Just that it should be relevant to what we are discussing. That's all I will ask. It should be relevant, and also the ones you sent to me are relevant, so you don't really have to send to me all the time. I think I trust your judgment. That's all I will say to that. Team A, I have shared the game night one with you, so you can have a look at it. And I sent the invite to you people also, so you guys can send the parents an invite to the event. So what I would say is resize the document for Canva. Just resize the prayer one for Canva. So that can be a post that comes up. And that is expo for the children even. All right. Do we have any other questions?
Okay.
Mary, what about you?
I'm still trying to look at the post. That's why I'm
Okay.
quiet.
Elsie, how is everybody doing with their posting daily? Are we having any issues? Is there any platform no anyone is